Nothing glaring. Just didn't take advantage of the opportunities when we had them, and they did, and that was the difference.
What's the plan going forward, I guess, to get, or is there a plan going forward to get David more involved back in the running game? I mean, is it just kind of as you see it, or is there going to be a concerted effort to try? Do you think that would help the team going forward in these last 5 games?
Week to week, game plans change, and I thought David had his best week of practice, and the way the game went, like I said after the game, felt like Drake was the hot hand, and we rode with him. But David's a very good football player, and we'll try to put him in positions to be successful based upon game plan week to week.
You at all worry about David's frame of mind?
I don't. He's a pro, very hard worker, and I don't.
When there are times that you think you're going to go more through Drake, is there a reason yesterday that David wasn't more involved in the receiving game, or can that be an opportunity for him there?
Definitely. Like I said, just game plan wise, matchup wise, things of that nature. It'll change. And yesterday, it was what it was, and Drake got the majority of the carries.
When you're evaluating running back play, what are the specific traits for a hot hand? What would you quantify that as?
Playing well, being productive, run game, pass game, blocking well, protections. Just playing at a level that we felt like gave us a chance to win the game.
Are you surprised at how quickly Kenyon's picked everything up offensively and been able to just play smoothly in that system?
I've been impressed with his work ethic since he got in, and his attention to detail, and his want to. And we still have a long way to go, but I like where he's at, and I think he's given us everything he's got.
The defense is making some of the same errors it made early in the season. We talk about tight ends and other things. Why hasn't it gotten better?
It's a work in progress. Obviously, we need to get better, and those guys. There's some young guys out there who are going through it, throwing in the fire, and we've got to get better.
Does your approach change at all to the defense? I know you're typically kind of hands off there, but when that seems to be the larger weakness of the team, do you get more involved?
I'm always involved. I'm just not calling it on game day. I'm calling offensive plays, but we have discussions daily on defense and defensive personnel and where we want this to be, and everybody understands the expectation, and we're not there right now.
Does it put a lot more pressure on the offense knowing that the defense has gone through some of these issues and the offense feeling like, okay, we might have to score 30 every game?
I don't think so. It's a team game, and our guys understand that we win together, we lose together, and we have to play better in all 3 phases to beat a team like San Francisco.
Last year, the team did switch offensive coordinator midway through the season. Has there been any discussion of that with defensive coordinator?
No.
What's the goal this week, bye week? What do you want to get accomplished?
Get healthy, refresh, recharge, take a look at where we're at, self-scout, offensively, defensively, special teams. What have we been doing well? What can we get better at? And these last 5 games, try to put our guys in the best position to be successful.
When you see a play that looks to you clearly like pass interference or not, think of the Christian one and the Joe Walker, how tough is it for you to decide whether to challenge or not, unsure that even though you see it, if it's going to be changed?
It's definitely challenging. Sometimes those calls will even be said, yes, it is pass interference, but no, it wouldn't be overturned. And so there's some subjectivity to that makes it challenging. But I think you have to – there's some risk reward. We had the deep ball, and we thought it was clearly pass interference, and we got rewarded with one that Joe looked close, but I didn't feel like we'd get that one. And so it is challenging, but you just do the best you can with it.
You said a couple weeks ago you were going to spend about a week kind of evaluating your running back position. What still has to be evaluated, and what do you want to try to figure out?
We know we have 3 really good players, and more than anything, how do we fit those 3 guys in and maximize who they are and how they help our offense? And with Chase hopefully coming back soon, that's a challenge for the offensive staff. How can we get all 3 guys involved? Because all 3 guys can be dynamic and help us win.
Do you expect Chase back after the bye?
I'm hoping. I'm not sure just quite yet if he'll be ready, but the progress has been good.
I apologize if you've been asked already, but with David Johnson, you benched him fourth quarter last week, you benched him second half this week. At what point do you just move on, or what's his future look like?
Yeah, I wouldn't use the term bench. Kenyon, once again, was the hot hand, as I said, and we're going to play the guy that we feel like is gives us the best chance at that time. And game plans change and roles will change. But no, David is a part of this offense, and we have to find a way to make sure he's playing at a high level and we can get him the football.
A few weeks ago, you didn't want to move him to receiver, have him do a majority of that stuff. With Kenyon, does that change your thought process where David's used at all?
I don't believe so. I think David can be in the backfield. He can motion out and do things from a wide receiver set. I mean, he can do it all. So our views on how we use him and where he goes haven't changed.
I know you only have a few games left. Is there any more thought about whether Robert Alford might be able to get back on the field, or have you guys kind of closed that door at this point?
I wouldn't say closed. Yeah, I wouldn't say closed. He's worked really hard in rehab, and I know he'd love to come back, but we also want to be smart about his safety.
How much of the offensive success, Kliff, is just reps from the guys versus you acclimating to the NFL and your play calling versus Kyler acclimating? How much is that kind of?
Yeah, it's about players, not plays. You know, those guys have worked really hard to improve as players and as offensive collectively, and so it's their hard work that I think you're seeing more success.
You talked about players and not plays with the offense, kind of switching that over to the defense. Is the personnel good enough on that side of the ball right now to improve, or is it just you just got to get better in the offseason?
You can always get better. I mean, you can always improve as a defense, and we understand that. It's critical times where we're not making plays, and you've seen improvement in the run defense, and you know, on third downs we've struggled recently, and we've got to get better at that.
There's been a lot of talk about, from you and from others, about learning how to win and stuff like that, and that's kind of meta. But what what does that entail? You've been around some really good teams as an assistant before. What does this team lack that other teams had?
I believe just the experience of doing it. You know, when you can reach back and you've had that memory of how you got it done, and getting over the hump of these close games when you're playing some of the top teams in the league down to the wire, and they're making plays and you're not. Eventually, you have to do it, and once you do it, you know you can, and you roll from there.
Have you talked to Kyler about the losing? He seemed to take yesterday very hard. Have you had any discussions about just like pushing through it or how to handle it?
We have lots of discussions. I mean, you want him to take it hard, but you want him to also, get rid of it pretty quickly and move on and continue to try and improve. And we all have to get better, and that's more what we talk about than anything, is that we all have a long way to go before we get where we want to get, and he understands he's a big part of that.
Outside of the bye week, helping guys with injuries, what will you be using it for personally, as far as like rewatching stuff more, game planning more? What will be your focus?
It will, just trying to get ahead on LA. So like I said, some self-scout stuff. Where can we get better? Anything play-wise through the first 11 that I think we can reuse or tweak or adjust, and then really try to steal a week on LA as far as preparation goes.
So you like to just focus on them, or anything?
I mean, big picture, like I said, is just self-scout. What have we been doing well, and what do we need to get better at?
Do you ever, when you're in a stretch of just where it seems to be Groundhog Day, think of doing, not right now because it's bye week, but when they come back, doing something crazy, something different, just to kind of shake up the routine, the momentum? Do you ever do things like that?
Like a dance-off or something?
Yes, a dance on.
No.
Curse on a ball.
No, I don't.